One thing that I realized after reading the Emrim tablets, after understanding the function of those that were summoned from below, those that were summoned in the time of Atlantis through blood sacrifice, blood being put up on altars. These beings that hide in the shadows, that live in the shadows, that come in our dimension only through angles. These beings that can only be summoned by earthmen because they are not from this realm or third dimension. These beings that can hijack a person's physical body and take over their vehicle once they sell their soul through blood sacrifice or blood signing a contract of such type of thing. But the one thing that I've noticed is when paying attention to the nature of children, how children are afraid of the dark. It's like a God-giving and instinctual nature where children are afraid of the dark. What I've come to realize is that because children are more spiritual, their third eye is more open, their spiritual antennas are highly active. They pick up negative vibrations in the darkness. See, the darkness is not evil. This is how, when you break it down, everything came from the darkness. In the beginning was total darkness, and from the darkness everything manifests. Even when you look out today, when you look out into space, 90%, 95% of space is darkness. It is the fabric of creation. So it is not the darkness that is evil. No. It's these low dimensional motherfuckers that Thoth talks about in his book, The Emrim Tablets, that hide in the shadows, and only can they come through this dimension in angles. This is why they hide in corners. When you see out the corner of your eye, black shadowy looking being, these are the ones that the Atlanteans trapped into the abyss. That are, and some of them, according to the Emrim Tablet, some of them they hid and they got away, and they still hide in the shadows today. So these children are afraid of the dark, not the dark. They're afraid of the frequency that is emitting from the darkness. It is these shadow beings that are in the shadows, in the corners of your rooms. This is why I advise y'all to throw salt in your corners. This is why I advise y'all to put crystals in your corner, smoky quartz, tourmaline. This is why I advise y'all to sage, use Palo Santo. This is why I advise y'all to do the ritual in which Thoth mentions in his book, The Emrim Tablets, where he chants the words of power. Untanas, Quartus, Chaito, Guyana, Horto, Senveda, Ordo. Chant the words of power. Okay? Follow the instructions that Thoth has prescribed when you feel like you may be under a psychic attack. Okay? These are things that we must do. But I'm now realizing why there's a nature in children to fear the darkness. It is not the darkness. It is the frequency that is emitting out of the darkness, because there are shadow beings hiding in the darkness trying to prey on the innocent. Okay? And once children sense this fear, these beings feed off their fear. Okay? Once these children emit that fear, and they can feel the negative vibes in the darkness coming from these beings, not the darkness. Now let's get this shit clear. Okay? Because even Thoth in his Emerald Tablets talks about doing meditations in the darkness. So yes, this is why we should wear crystals, charge crystals, learn how to meditate. Okay, raise your vibrations, think positive, get rid of negative thoughts, because they feed off negativity, these beings. Okay? A lot of these beings are reptilians that hide in the shadows because they can project themselves, okay, in the shadows or in the darkness, and they present themselves as shadow-like beings. These are not the only ones, but nevertheless, they are all negative. There is no righteous being that would hide in the shadows. They will come out in the open. This is how you know their intentions is not positive. No benevolent being, no divine being will come to you while you're afraid. Okay? They will come to you when you don't have fear. Only a negative being will come to you when you are afraid. It's just that simple. These are the laws of attraction. There is no way around this here shit. And this is why our ancestors that lived in Agartha, that lived in Amenti, that lives in Shambhala, they build their buildings from crystals, because crystals already emit certain positive frequencies. They already shield from negative beings, and they build them in a circle. In a circle, because only through angles can these negative beings manifest, meaning corners like in your house. Okay? So yes, sage around your children even while they laying in bed. I don't give a shit if you gotta wait till they go to sleep. Burn some Palo Santo. Put some crystals on their bed. I don't give a shit if you gotta put it above their bed and it's hanging from the ceiling fan. Okay, if you gotta put it on the door. Charge the crystals. Program the crystals. There's books on programming crystals. Okay? These are things that we need to know. These are things that our ancestors practiced. But we have been taught totally against it. Ever since religion came on the scene, we've been straight up living other than who we really are. Okay? So we must get back to our ancient ancestors. Look at the great things that our ancestors did. Look at the fingerprints of the gods that have been left on the planet. And when I say fingerprints of the gods, I'm talking about the original man. Okay? Look at the Sphinx, the pyramids, the Olmecs. So when you look at that, you should understand that we have been totally brainwashed with shit water. And we must go back to our ancestors, okay, and reclaim what is naturally ours. Okay? Spirituality. Now, I would hope that y'all have taken these words to heart. And I will hope that this has been something of benefit to you. Until then, peace.